Alright, this is going to be a short review on The Ultimate Fighter, Season 10, Episode 4. Now, if you watched the end of Episode 3, then you would have seen them hyping up Kimbo, like Kimbo was going to step in for Marcus Jones, because Marcus Jones seemed a bit winded and sweaty and possibly injured, and you saw stuff taped up. Well, that didn't happen. D'Amico Rogers was picked to fight against Brendan Schwab. I hope I'm saying his name right. It might be Brendan Schaub. The entire time, Rampage Jackson is like, you picked the wrong guy. This dude is gonna kill your dude. I'm gonna have that control. Talking mad stuff. Rashad starts talking mad stuff right back. He says, we're gonna go 8-0. Has that ever even been done? 8-0. That's what's gonna happen to you. He says, don't get mad. Kimbo Slice says all that stuff that you saw in the preview about, someone gets injured, man. Tap me in. Hey, Wes Sims is left. Scott Junk is left. Marcus Jones is sweet. I've seen him fight. He's good. He's only going to get better. Here's what else happened. Matt Trioni was in a meeting where they're talking about setting up the fights. Who's going to fight who based on whose strengths and weaknesses, striking, experience, strength, ground game, etc. Well, Matt Mitrione, he went and he, for no apparent reason, he can't even think of the reason, decides to say not only his matchup, but everybody's matchup. And what they were thinking is, the only thing they can come up with other than he's stupid is he was afraid to fight Marcus Jones. Now, during this episode, you see clips of Marcus Jones, like, accidentally hurting the guys, like, accidentally twisting the guys, pulling the armbar a little too tight, kicking the guy and just knocking him straight over. That guy has power, and he's quick with it, and he's got all around. He's good. All right. That's what I think. Matt Mitrione, you're a little bitch. No one in the whole place likes him. They're all turning against him. They leave him out of everything now. I couldn't tell you who the next fight is going to be. I really couldn't, because Matt Mitrione, he just threw a monkey wrench in there, and you don't know who they're going to pick now. So, there was a little bit of traitorism. There was a little bit of Kimbo Slice hype again. They did not insinuate this time that Kimbo Slice will be fighting the next time, or that anybody's injured, or any of that. So it's just going to be a regular episode. If you watch my other video, it is known that Kimbo Slice gets a contract out of this, regardless of if he wins or loses, because the sucker is a money draw, and Dana White was impressed with his performance. This fight between D'Amico Rogers and Brendan Schwab was very good. D'Amico Rogers was dominating, but he couldn't really hold him because Brendan Schwab was really moving around. Kind of like how Kimbo should have done if he knew what he was doing. The dude was scrambling, and he kept putting his legs up, pushing him out, getting him back to guard, wrapping his legs around, holding underneath his arms the way you're supposed to so that they can't strike you. He was doing all the right stuff. He obviously has a little more experienced. They were both 4-0 in total MMA going into it. Seemed like D'Amico Rogers was winning the first round. And then out of nowhere, while they're scrambling on the ground, Brendan Schwab reaches around and gets this, what the hell is that kind of choke? Anaconda choke. Gets an anaconda choke, and he holds it on him. And, of course, after a while, dude has to tap out. That's a hell of a hold. A lot of major, big-name fighters have tapped out to that. Okay? It's not just, you get choked out. What? You can't breathe. What are you going to do? Straight up. Then Quentin Rampage, he seems like a bad sport already. He seems like not the greatest coach already. All he does is kind of bitch from the sidelines. And it didn't work for him on season 7. It's not going to work for him now. Right now he's just depending on his fighters. And my cousin who was watching it with me, he said if Rashad had Rampage Jackson's fighters, he said, I think the outcome would be the same. He says that's how much better of a coaching team Rashad has and how much more positive they are. And you really saw that when D'Amico Rogers was laying there on the ground after being choked out, and one of the coaches said, hey, should we get him a stool? And Jackson said, what does he need a stool for? He lost. He's got all the time in the world to recover. He doesn't need a stool. And he just leaves him there. And the whole team leaves him there. And they just walk out. And they just leave him there. And Jackson and many of the other people on his team know what it's like to lose and how it feels and how much it sucks. And you need, you never know. You might need this guy in another fight because somebody got injured or something. The guy looks good. Okay, he made a mistake. He got caught. So Rashad and one of Rashad's coaches comes up and says, you know what, you did a good job. You did a good job. You have nothing to be ashamed of. And they motivate him and they help him up and they talk to him and they make him feel a little bit better. And it really shows that Rampage has no, he is a great fighter and he's really aggressive and he knows how he does what he does. But it doesn't seem like he knows how to teach somebody else how to do what he does. And that's his problem. And if you look right before the fight, you're going to see that Brendan Schwab is getting hyped up. They're telling him, no one can beat you. You are the best that ever was. You are the best I've ever trained. They're making this. They're doing everything but playing Eye of the Tiger. And all they're saying to D'Amico Rogers is, like, you're bigger than this guy. You're stronger than this guy. You're better than this guy. You can beat this guy. How bad do you want it? They're not, and you can see the difference in the way they make you feel and the confidence they give you on Rashad's team. And it just seems better all the way around. And I just see that this is going to keep going like this. I don't see any other outcome possible. I just think Rampage is going to keep losing. And personally, if they're not working on Kimball's ground game, and I'm pretty sure Baz Rutten was working on his ground game too. And he probably was doing a little bit of training in between then and now. And he's obviously in great shape. It sucks for me to say, how much more is he going to learn? How good is he going to get? Even if he makes it to the UFC, do you think he's really going to be undefeated? Do you even think he's going to go 5-0? Because I really doubt it. And that's all.